It started as a normal spring break, a trip to Barcelona, excitement, music, laughter, friends. But for 20-year-old Jimmy Gracie from Elmhurst, Illinois, it would become a nightmare that no one could have imagined. Jimmy was a junior at the University of Alabama, a bright, young student with the world ahead of him, full of energy, friends, and dreams. He had rented an Airbnb with friends and planned to enjoy a few nights in the vibrant city. But on the early morning of Tuesday, March 17th, 2026, something went terribly wrong. He was last seen leaving Xoco, a busy waterfront nightclub in Barcelona. Music was playing. People were dancing. The city lights reflected off the water. Jimmy was with friends, but at some point, they got separated. And then, he disappeared. At first, no one thought it was serious. He might have gone exploring, and maybe he got delayed. Maybe he just wanted to walk by the marina alone. But hours passed, then a night, and still, he did not return. His friends searched. They called. They knocked on doors. But there was no Jimmy. Panic began to spread. His mother, Therese Gracie, worried more than ever. She said the friends got separated at the end of the night, and Jimmy never made it back to the Airbnb. Fear settled in. Something wasn't right. Police were contacted. Local authorities in Barcelona, the Mossos d'Esquadra, began a search. Helicopters flew over the sparkling water. Boats patrolled the harbor. Dive teams combed the depths. Motorcycle units scoured the streets. The search was relentless. But the water, it was dark, murky, dangerous. Divers said visibility was as low as 16 inches. That's less than a foot. It was almost impossible to see, almost impossible to find him. Days passed. Anxiety grew. Every moment was excruciating for Jimmy's family, for his friends. The city watched silently as authorities continued to comb the shoreline and marina, hoping for any sign, any clue. And then, the unthinkable happened. On Thursday, March 19th, Jimmy's body was recovered at Port Olympic, just steps from the nightclub where he was last seen. Divers entered the water at 7:05 p.m. local time. 10 minutes later, they returned with a body bag. The identification was confirmed. It was Jimmy. The news shattered everyone who knew him. The city, the university, the family, all were plunged into grief. Our family is heartbroken as we confirm that Jimmy's body has been recovered in Barcelona, the Gracies said. Jimmy was a deeply loved son, grandson, and brother, nephew, cousin, and friend. Our family is struggling to come to terms with this unimaginable loss. It was more than grief. It was shock, pain, confusion, fear. How could this happen in a bustling tourist city? How could someone just vanish? How could a young man's life end so suddenly, so tragically? Authorities have not yet released the cause of death. The uncertainty makes it worse. Friends and family are left with questions that may never be fully answered. Divers and investigators carefully recovered Jimmy's phone during the arrest of another individual, hoping that the location data might shed light on what happened. Every message, every call, every movement is being analyzed. Every small piece of information could be the key to understanding this tragedy. But for now, all anyone has is the horror of a life cut short. Imagine the fear, the final hours. Walking alone in a foreign city, separated from your friends, not knowing that this night would be the last. For Jimmy, what should have been a night of fun ended in darkness. The world seems cruel when it takes someone so young, so full of life, so full of promise. And yet there is something more to this story, something that makes it even scarier. He was not alone in that city. People were everywhere. Music, crowds, lights. Yet in the chaos, a young man could disappear without a trace. It is a reminder that the world, even in bright tourist spots, can be dangerous. That sometimes the most vibrant places hide dark truths. As authorities continue their investigation, questions remain. Was this an accident? Did he slip and fall into the water? Did something more sinister happen? Were there people involved who wish to hide the truth? No one knows yet. The mystery lingers, the questions haunt, and the grief remains. Jimmy's friends struggle to remember him in moments of joy while grappling with the horror of his death. The images of that night, the final moments, replay endlessly in their minds. The city of Barcelona, the university, the international community, all mourn a life lost far too soon. And for parents watching this, for families everywhere, the story hits even harder. The fear of losing a child in a foreign place, the helplessness, the terror. This is not just a story, it's a warning, a reminder that life is fragile, that even in places filled with people, laughter and music, danger can lurk unseen. The Gracie family asks for privacy, for peace, for understanding. But they also want the world to remember Jimmy, to honor him, to grieve with him, because every life matters, and the pain of losing one so young is almost unbearable. Authorities continue to investigate. They are reviewing every angle, every piece of evidence, every small detail, and until they know the full story, the world waits. The city of Barcelona will not forget. The University of Alabama will not forget. And Jimmy Gracie, though gone, will never be forgotten by those who loved him. His story is tragic. It is painful. It is terrifying. It is a warning to all of us. The world can be cruel, and danger can appear when least expected. And the questions remain. What happened that night at Shoko? Was it truly an accident? Or did someone want to harm him? No one can answer that yet. But the search for the truth continues. And one thing is certain. Jimmy Gracie's memory lives on. His family's love, his friends' grief, and the world's heartbreak ensure that he will not be forgotten. Every night, every city, every moment holds a story. Sometimes we are lucky to live through it. Sometimes we are not. And sometimes even the brightest spring break ends in darkness.